Steven Seagal, born on April 10, 1952, in Lansing, Michigan, is an American actor, martial artist, producer, screenwriter, and musician known for his distinctive career in action films. Seagal's career journey is marked by his unique blend of martial arts expertise and Hollywood stardom. Seagal began his journey into the world of martial arts at a young age, training in aikido under the tutelage of various masters. His passion and dedication led him to Japan, where he became the first foreigner to operate an aikido dojo in the country. This deep immersion in martial arts significantly shaped his persona and would later become a cornerstone of his film career. Seagal's entry into Hollywood came in the late 1980s. His debut film, Above the Law, 1988, showcased his martial arts skills and established him as a new action star. The film's success was followed by a series of hits, including Hard to Kill, 1990, Marked for Death, 1990, and Out for Justice, 1991. These films were characterized by their intense action sequences, often featuring Seagal's aikido techniques, and solidified his reputation as a formidable action hero. The early 1990s marked the peak of Seagal's popularity. His 1992 film Under Siege, in which he played Navy SEAL turned chef Casey Ryback, was a critical and commercial success, grossing over $156 million worldwide. The film remains one of his most popular and acclaimed works. Seagal continued to star in action films throughout the 1990s, maintaining a significant fan base and box office appeal. As the 2000s approached, Seagal's career began to diversify. While he continued to act in films, many of them direct-to-video releases, he also explored other interests. Seagal pursued a career in music, releasing several albums featuring his skills as a guitarist and singer. His music often blends blues, rock, and country influences. In addition to his entertainment career, Seagal has been involved in various business ventures, law enforcement activities, and humanitarian efforts. He has served as a reserve deputy sheriff in Louisiana and has participated in reality TV shows such as Steven Seagal, Lawman, which follows his work in law enforcement. Seagal's career has not been without controversy. He has faced numerous allegations of sexual misconduct and has been criticized for his political views and connections. Despite these challenges, he has continued to work in the film industry, producing and starring in action films. Steven Seagal's impact on the action genre is significant. His unique blend of martial arts authenticity and screen presence set him apart from other action stars of his era. While his later career has seen a shift towards less mainstream projects, his early work remains influential in the genre. Seagal's dedication to martial arts and his ability to translate that into compelling on-screen performances have earned him a lasting place in Hollywood history. In 1992, Steven Seagal starred in Under Siege, an action film that grossed over $150 million worldwide, cementing his status as a top-tier action star of the early 90s. However, a decade later, he starred in The Foreigner, which shockingly received a 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, reflecting a dramatic decline in his career. Seagal's journey from the pinnacle of Hollywood action films to the realm of critically panned releases highlights a tumultuous career path filled with both successes and controversies. Besides his turbulent movie career, Seagal has been involved in numerous bizarre incidents both behind the scenes and off the set. Despite criticism from many, Seagal undeniably leads a wild life, filled with stories that are often stranger than fiction. According to multiple actors, Steven Seagal is an incredibly difficult co-worker, known for his diva-like behavior. John Leguizamo found this out the hard way. During rehearsals for Executive Decision, Leguizamo laughed at something Seagal said, prompting Seagal to respond aggressively. He came up and taekwondo'd me against a brick wall. He's 6'5" and caught me off guard, knocking all the air out of me. I was like, why? Why? This incident illustrates Seagal's unpredictable and often intimidating presence on set. His larger-than-life persona wasn't limited to his on-screen roles, it permeated his interactions with cast and crew alike. In The Glimmer Man, Seagal's character was supposed to kill a serial murderer played by Steven Tobolowsky. However, Seagal, known for his capricious nature, decided he didn't want to kill so many people in his movies anymore and even tried convincing Tobolowsky that his character should live. This last-minute change in the script direction showcases Seagal's tendency to impose his personal philosophies onto his work, often leading to on-set chaos. Despite his efforts, the scene was filmed as written, and Tobolowsky's character met his end. My entire chest explodes like my heart explodes. Blood flies out of the camera. I fall out of frame, and smoke rises. As filming continued, Seagal improvised lines about how glad he was that he didn't kill the character in the church, adding confusion to the film's narrative. The director, in an attempt to maintain some continuity, called Tobolowsky back to record extra dialogue to suggest his character's death was less permanent. I ended up shouting, "Finish me off, you son of a... Come on. Don't leave me like this. Kill me." These behind-the-scenes anecdotes paint a picture of a man who is as complex and unpredictable as the characters he portrays. Steven Seagal's career may be fraught with ups and downs, but his impact on the action genre and his larger-than-life persona ensure that he remains a memorable figure in Hollywood lore. Steven Seagal has done quite a bit of fight choreography. According to IMDb, most of the films he's choreographed are his own, but in the early 80s, Seagal worked on the James Bond film Never Say Never Again. He was brought on board to teach Sean Connery some aikido. Connery was already well-versed in karate, having been awarded an honorary third-degree black belt while preparing for 1967's You Only Live Twice. Connery explained what went down when the pair worked together in an interview on Jay Leno's Tonight Show in 1996. "I got a little cocky because I thought I knew what I was doing. Because you know the principle is its defense, so it's a pyramid. And then I go a little bit fast and I did that and he broke my wrist." "Wow," Leno responded, clearly taken aback by the revelation. This incident illustrates not only Seagal's expertise, but also the intensity and authenticity he brings to his craft, even when working with established stars like Connery. There's no denying that Steven Seagal is an accomplished martial artist. He's a legit seventh dan in aikido, a martial art that relies on joint locks and the redirection of momentum. He was even the first American to teach aikido in Japan, a significant achievement that underscores his deep knowledge and skill in the discipline. However, more than a few fighters question the practicality of aikido when it comes to real-world self-defense. Fight analyst Jack Slack argues that aikido only works if your opponent is running straight at you, something most smart fighters never actually do. UFC commentator and fighting fan Joe Rogan adds that aikido would never work against a trained fighter, never, not in a million years. Despite these criticisms, Seagal's reputation in martial arts remains formidable. His commitment to aikido and his ability to incorporate it into his films have made him a unique figure in the action genre. Whether or not his techniques are universally effective, Seagal's influence on martial arts cinema is undeniable. His journey from teaching aikido in Japan to choreographing fights for Hollywood legends like Sean Connery is a testament to his enduring legacy in both martial arts and film. Steven Seagal has battled all sorts of bad guys on the silver screen, from terrorists to the Yakuza. But Seagal has also faced some scary villains in real life, namely the Mafia. According to a New York Times story from 2002, Seagal was once brought before a Gambino crime family captain named Anthony Sonia Ciccone. The mob boss ordered him to start working with producer Julius R. Nasso, with whom he'd had a successful working relationship in the 90s before the two had a falling out. Seagal was so freaked out that he gave the gangsters over $500,000. The scandal came to light in 2003, and Nasso was sentenced to 1 year in federal prison. Steven Seagal has a strong interest in law enforcement, as evidenced by his filmography. However, his role in Under Siege is an exception to this pattern. Are you some sort of special forces operative? I'm just a cook. A cook? Seagal served as a police officer in Jefferson Parish, Louisiana, for approximately 20 years. In 2009, he took his involvement in law enforcement to the next level by starring in a reality show titled Steven Seagal, Lawman. During the third season, Seagal collaborated with the controversial Sheriff Joe Arpaio of Maricopa County, Arizona. In 2011, Arpaio led a raid against Jesus Lavera, a local individual suspected of involvement in cockfighting. The raid involved a significant police presence, including up to 40 SWAT officers, a bomb squad, KE-9 units, and armored vehicles. We aim to catch the suspect and any other occupants of the house off guard. The use of police tanks to breach the gates of Lavera's property and the resulting damage to parts of his residence were unexpected. Even the resident peacock was taken by surprise. Lavera eventually pleaded guilty to charges related to cockfighting. Unfortunately, the 115 roosters found on his property were euthanized by the police. Despite his reputation for action-packed roles, Steven Seagal is not solely focused on combat and violence. He is also a talented musician who plays guitar in a blues band. Additionally, he occasionally showcases his unique dance moves.